Hey everyone. Hey guys.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. Um, we are going to go through family reunion ahas. So we have some amazing agents who went with us, and I actually printed this out for you guys. Gary sent out like the 10 biggest ahas that he had from Social Media Con. Um, so, anyways, actually, should we start with some gratitude? We haven't done that in a while. How about some gratitude to start? Bucket fills. Who has something they were grateful for? And then we'll go through this. We haven't done that in so long, y'all. Come on. Courtney, I'm walking past you.
Um, all right. I guess I'm grateful for I guess our morning calls with Sarah and also our ALC morning calls as well. Y'all keep me encouraged, and so I'm very grateful for that.
Okay, one more. Just because y'all look so sad. Yes, Sue, you look so happy. Sue is always bringing the energy in the room.
I'm grateful for Courtney because she always has a smile on her face and she always works hard and she does not gripe and whine.
Hey, Gary.
So, seriously, she's a constant encouragement.
Aw. Thank you, Sue. Well, I'll finish getting these out and I'll make some more copies. I might be out. But if our panelists want to go up front and we'll get started with the family reunion aha panel. So Sue and Sammy and Chauncey. Um, so I know Sue and Sammy have been before, but Chauncey has not. So you've been to family reunion. Yes, you have. I've never been before. Oh, that's for you. I was like, you went last year, girlfriend. So I'll go through this really fast while they're kind of making their way up here. Social Media Con was amazing, you guys. They completely revamped Family Reunion. So they had a full day of just social media. And really, honestly, it was people from different perspectives, different influencers, kind of like agents all have a different approach. they all had a different approach of how they use social media so that you can get more comfortable of like, who do you identify with? Is it posting 50 times a day like Gary Vee, or is it just being very intentional with connecting with your sphere? So one of the people, honestly, I connected with more, she's like, I post once a week and then I intentionally go and comment on my friends or my past clients, what they're doing, DM them, like just being more intentional with building relationships with social media. So that was a big aha I had. But anyway, so we'll kind of get started. So tell us, Sammy, you have the mic. How many family reunions have you been to? How many years in the business have you been in? And what was your experience?
Hello. Okay. I've been in the business for 6 years, and this year was my second time attending family reunion. Last year was my first. I feel like this time I was way more intentional than last year. I feel like last year it was a lot. It's like drinking out of the water hose. So this year I felt like I was more intentional with the sessions that I took.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Sue? How many family reunions have you been to? How long you been in the business?
First family reunion. It's chaos. Just know it is. It's okay though. You can get through it. And I've been in 20 plus. Long time. I'm a lifer.
Okay, awesome. And then what about you, Chauncey?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my first time, and a little bit overwhelmed by it, to be honest with you. I've been in the business with a bit of a company, New Keller Williams, but I've been in the business for over 20 years. Sue? Yeah. So, but it was a great experience just to be there.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll start with you, Chauncey. What was one idea or model that you learned that immediately changed the way you think about your business?
Actually, I feel like I learned a lot, so I made notes here, so I'll kind of stay on track because I'll drift away. The main thing that I got was just being consistent and having a plan, finding out what works best for you, and we as realtors sometimes have a way of starting things and then stopping, but people expect you to be consistent, and that shows professionalism. So it just a lot that I got from family reunion is what I already know, but it just reinforced what I should be doing, which encourages me to just want to encourage all of you to get advice or seek advice from people who are experienced in the business, because you never can learn too much in this business. It's constantly changing. It's very dynamic. So that's one thing that kind of was reinforced in my head.
I love that. Okay, so what are you going to do differently because of what's
I'm
going?
going to work more intentional about being consistent, to trying to stay on target and not wonder so much. You have a tendency to overthink sometimes as a realtor, and just keep it simple. Work that hard, but just figure out what's the smart way to do it.
I love that. Okay, awesome. What about you, Sammy? What's one thing that you learned that really kind of changed your mindset around your business?
I think one of the things that shifted my thinking was I attended a niche class, and then some of the speakers, the panelists, one in particular, Dan Ihara, and he was speaking about like finding your community and finding a niche that you're good at, and I kind of like wanted to hear more from him. And then like right after that, I ended up taking a wealth planning class that he was actually the moderator at. And it shifted my thinking because, us like real estate agents, we have been programmed to, buy, sell, and invest, right? That's what we programmed to do to help our clients with. But after those sessions, it just had me thinking about and that's the easy part, but what's the hard part comes next. So, what's after that? And it's, building the wealth and, protecting the wealth and passing the wealth on. So I felt like, after that session, I was interested in learning more and getting certified in wealth planning.
I love that. Okay. Awesome. What about you, Sue?
I like the question.
Sure. What was one idea or model that you learned that immediately kind of changed the way you're thinking about your business?
Well, I'm like Sammy, the niche thing. It's not really find one thing. I think I learned find your passion. Find what you need to do and then post about it. Because if you're not posting, you're going to be left behind through the whole thing. If you are not on social media, you will be left behind. And I don't love social media, but I am passionate about a few things. And so I thought, you know what? I can do that. I had never zoned in 20 years, never zoned in on a niche. Oh, I got my niche and it's coming.
What's your niche?
What's
Business.
my niche?
Yeah.
Oh, old people. Old people are my jam. Yeah. I'm going to know all y'all are, you need anything, know about anything about old people or taking care of people, you just call me. Oh, I was a nursing home administrator.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so, and people, the whole time I was a nursing home administrator, they're like, how can you do that? And I'm like, you do not know these people. I met Elvis's next door neighbor. I met one of the very first Tuskegee Airmen. If you don't know what they are, they're the African-American unit that flew bombers in World War II.
Mhm.
2 or 1. I don't know. One of them, but it was a lot. Anyway, but you meet some really great people. But, you got to find your passion and you got to start posting about it.
I love
So-
that. So, Sue, what did you tell us that you did that we didn't even know you did about social media? Who did you hire?
Oh,
Girl.
social media coach. Girl. And if you want her, I'm going to talk to Sarah. I think she's going to bring her in to train. But if you don't know how to use CapCut and how to post, then stop trying to figure it out and hire a social media coach that teaches you how to do it. We get on a Zoom call. I have my phone and she's looking at my phone so she can say, you push this, you do this. Oh, you didn't do that. And she teaches me how to think in the social media space, which to me has been huge. Because I'll say something and she'll say, oh, no, too many words. Oh, you said, you have 1.7 seconds to get their attention. Just made someone scroll.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to come in and you got to start talking and you got to take out all the breaths. And I mean, it's just a whole new way to think. And if you're not learning how to do social media in a better way, we're going to be left behind.
I love that. That's what Gary Vee said. He said, stop calling it social media and start calling it attention media. Like you have to grab their attention quickly.
Very quick.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay. Well, you're passionate about a lot of things, Sue. And we love it. Okay, I'm going to start with you since you have it. So what did you hear repeatedly from top agents that we cannot afford to ignore?
Nothing.
Is there anything you heard
But
constantly?
from, like I said, at family reunion, it's a lot. And so a lot of people are talking, a lot of people are saying stuff. But over all of that, and I shouldn't say nothing because over the whole thing is don't give up. Don't give up. You newbies that have been in the market, 3, 5 or less years, there was one slide that across the whole thing, they did that graph. And right in the middle was that 2008, 2010 spot. And it was low. The average is here and it was down here. And I'm thinking, what is everyone upset about in 2005, where they said it has been one of the lowest production years in a long time? But it wasn't down there. And we made it through that. So quit your whining and keep going. You're fine.
I love that. Okay. Sammy, what did you hear repeatedly from top agents that we can't afford to ignore?
I would say one thing is to kind of get your vendor list in check, get organized as far as your contacts goes. And if I'm going down the wealth rabbit hole, then that would mean getting some trust attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, just having those people in your Rolodex. So when you're having the conversation with your clients, you can refer those people out. You have the team set up. And another thing that I was hearing a lot was quality over quantity, right? So if you're working with CPAs and you're working with trust advisors and you're having this conversation with them, then that's a good relationship right there that you're building, that they can refer you some clients versus chasing the masses, the leads.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. What about you, Chauncey?
Well, what I heard repeatedly was emphasizing presence on social media. Particularly one of the speakers, Gary Vee, he was very graphic in his talk, and it's one of the first presentations I've heard that I heard so many F words in. He didn't hold back. He was just saying, if you don't embrace social media, you're gonna die. And in this business, I mean, it's just AI and all the platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You better get into them. And I've been around a long time, and I've kind of fought social media. And now I'm trying to embrace it. And I've learned something here. Hire a coach. Whatever it's going to take to get there, you need to do it. I think it's going to be worth it because things are not the same as they were, and they're constantly changing, and this business is changing. So if you're going to compete, you got to have a strong presence on social media. That's what I heard the most.
Yeah, I love him. He said what he was saying, the message was very clear, was you're right. He was saying we're in a time where in 5 or 10 years, if you don't do it and you're still doing it so just face-to-face referrals, he was like, the other things are going to take over. So he was like, I'm not trying to scare you, but you should be a little scared, right? He was like, don't let it be you. Don't let it be that you didn't do it and now you're regretting it 10 years later. And I think it was him that also said, do you have something to say, Tia? Yes, ma'am. Hold on, let me give you a mic because this sounds like a great story.
Regretting it 10 years later. I was at a conference in 2015 and they told us get on camera. And I remember I made one live video. I did not like it. I did not like the way I sounded, all the things, right? So all of the people that were early adopters, one of them being Glenda Baker, I'm like, girl, what you doing treasure around Keller Williams? Because I don't even think she's with us, right? So for those of you who don't know her, she has like over 6 million followers, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok sensation. She did what she was supposed to do 10 years ago, and now she's a celebrity. So I was like, dang it. So don't be like me, because I feel like I should have been up there with Glenda, but I didn't do the stuff. When I tell you, Glenda was very coy, very modest, very, baby, now she is walking through there like she Beyonce or somebody. Like her husband like left her. She got a divorce in 2020, told her story, very transparent because that's her audience. She lives her life on social media, baby. Face snatched, newly divorced, teeth done. She is a totally different person. Not the little Stefford wife she was back then. She's a TikTok sensation now. Making a lot of money.
Well, I think it's also
Yeah.
because the largest grocers in Keller Williams that had the highest gross net profit, their operating principal and their team leader is all over social media.
Yeah.
So there's a revenue and profit play, and we get to decide if we want that revenue in our business.
Yeah. Sarah, just I'll repeat it for Zoom, said that the highest grossing profit market center, basically. They're all over social media, and all they're doing is attracting, right? So they're not recruiting, they're attracting. People are coming to them asking to be in their culture and in their community. So I love that. Let's see. Okay, Chauncey. So what is one practical action item that anybody in this room could take in the next 7 days that you learned?
Well, I go back to social media thing is to develop a stronger presence on social media. That's not that difficult. It's practical.
Mm-hmm. Gary Vee said that's the one free thing that you can do that makes the biggest difference in your business, right? It's like it doesn't cost you any money. It's insane how big of a influence it can make.
And one other thing is when talking with people, just try to be transparent and try to be down to earth and don't speak over their head. Don't overthink things. People just understand simple things. Like I was showing a house yesterday, and the lady asked, "What does co-op mean?" So I have to just break it down simply for her. That's the way I get paid as a realtor. And if the agent is unwilling to co-op, then I don't get paid unless you're going to pay me, and I don't think you want to pay me. But I got to get paid, and just kind of. But I could have spoken in more intellectual terms, but she understood what I was saying. Oh yeah, I want you to get paid. I like what you're doing, and I don't mind paying you the 3%. But I was glad to hear that, but I wanted to make sure she understood. We talk about terms we take for granted in real estate, like equity and just concepts and thoughts. They're every day, but we have to speak in terms that people understand and they can identify with and relate to.
I love that. Yeah. Sammy, what's one thing that everybody could take away in the next week?
Something practical. I'm going to stay in the wealth journey here and ask questions, right? So, for example, when I came back, I have a client that I'm talking with, and I know that she has like 3 properties, and I said, "What's the plan? Like, She said, I don't know, but I've been thinking about it." And I was like, "Do you have it in a trust? Would, God forbid if something happens to you or your husband, do you really want your children to plan what's gonna happen to your properties?" And she was like, "No, but I've really been thinking about it." I was like, "That's okay. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to get you the right people, connect you with the right people. And, that way you can take that burden off your mind." And so right there, that builds loyalty. So it's not just like one deal closed, goodbye. It's like, how do we stay in this for the long term?
I love that. So
just
talking
ask
to your,
questions.
yeah,
Ask
talking to your
questions.
clients, see how
The
you can
planning
help.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, Sue, what about you?
Both of these two, ask questions, ask genuine questions. Everything should be on a 5th grade level, I think was one takeaway that I had, that make sure, because we're in the industry all the time and we're going on and on and on, and we go quickly, and in our mind, we're like, oh, these are the next steps. But a lot of times they just want to know what the next step is. So tell them and tell them often. And make sure if you write something, I think one of Gary's books? Or
Which one?
Somebody wrote a book. And they wrote it, and then they went back in and said, okay, they went to AI and said, hey, help me write this in a 5th grade level so that a 5th grader could understand it. And then they rewrote that book in that way. And that made a big impression to me, because our minds are going a million miles a minute, and we already know the next 10 steps, but they don't know. And we just need to really focus on teaching, as Sammy said, and be diligent in asking questions and truly listening and pulling out what they're really wanting and what their true needs are.
I love that. one thing I took away from it was actually CEO Summit. Did either one of you get to go to that? No. So there's a book called Unreasonable Hospitality. You guys should all read it. I haven't read it yet, but the speaker was amazing. And he ran a 3-star Michelin restaurant. He actually like co-produced that show, The Bear. I haven't seen it yet, but it won some Emmys and stuff about running a kitchen and in a 5-star or I guess a 3-star Michelin restaurant. But he was like, we want it. Now he said the food, obviously all the food is going to be great on that list, right? But he was like, it was the hospitality that set our experience over the edge. So he talked about going through, so this is something that you guys can do right in the next 7 days, going through every single touch point that you have with a client and how can you make it a little bit more special. And he said, not necessarily for every single client. He was like, that one, right? So what would Jan love in this part right here? Like what would Allie love right here, right? So he said he gamified it. And so he said he had all of his staff, busboys, waiters, whatever. So what they did was they would listen to what the people were talking about at dinner. If they're just getting the plates, what were they speaking about? One of them, they had done a full food tour in New York, right? And he was like, they planned their entire travel around going to Michelin star restaurants to taste them all. And he said, but the conversation when he said the owner, he was like, I was picking up their plates and I heard them say, the only thing we didn't have was a New York style hot dog, right? He said, I ran out to the street, bought a hot dog from the hot dog cart, took it to my Michelin star chef and said, I need you to plate this, cut it into four on a plate, plate it beautifully. And he said, he fought me every step of the way. He's like, no, I'm not cutting up that hot dog and putting it in my restaurant. He said, we brought it to them and they literally cried. And he said, we have people still to this day who come because those people are spreading it everywhere they go. How amazing of an experience we had. So they gamified. How can they, every step of the way, make it a little bit better and more personal? So he was like, don't worry about scaling it. What would that person like? Because that's going to make such an impression that it doesn't matter if you can scale it, right? Another one of them, his examples was then like he had his whole team trying to gamify how to make it a better experience for them. And so anyways, he went through every step of the process. He made them sit down during a staff meeting. He said, we sat there for 3 hours, like every single touch point. When do we touch the client and how can we make it a little bit better? So that's what I would say is to go do. Where can you find the touch points? In Value Squared, inside of Connect, there is in that Value Squared playbook, and it will give you all the touch points. But honestly, it probably doesn't have them all. There's a lot more times where you touch your client that you can make it a little bit more special. And I think that made a big difference in their business. And it just blew my mind, right, from how detailed he was and how he was like, don't worry about scaling it. Just make it very personal for that person to have an amazing experience. So anyways, that was my takeaway. Go look at all your touch points and how can you make it a little bit more special. So, okay, we have a couple more questions. What belief did you have before family reunion that was challenged or expanded?
My hair doesn't look good. I cannot speak correctly. I don't have the right clothes on. And my content won't be good enough. And Gary Vee would say, blank, 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 you little blank, quit your whining and just do it. And that really, because we're all so self-conscious. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I am. I'm like, oh, I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. No, I can't. He said, no one cares. No one cares. Get online and look at a lot of people. They do not have the best hairdos. They are not perfectly fit. If you're on a fitness journey, take your team with you.
Mm-hmm.
Take your social media team with you on your fitness journey. Show them your successes and show them your failures. Because we all fail. People want to connect. And the biggest thing is we need to give them someone to connect with. And if it's not going to be you, it's going to be somebody else. Why not you? So you're beautiful the way you are. just be confident and be passionate about serving people and doing great business.
I love that.
That was really good. That's going to be hard to beat. Let's see. Well, I guess some beliefs that I had before the wealth journey that I went on was, it was almost very transactional, and now, it's more of, you're building wealth, you're building loyalty, so it's not so much, just closing the deal.
I love that. Okay. What about you, Chauncey?
Yes, the question
What's one idea well, I'm like, let me remember the question. Hold on. What is one belief that you had before family reunion that was challenged or expanded?
The big thing with me being new to Keller Williams, I was just really blown away to see so many people there. And I did not mingle a lot with my group. My wife was with me. She was back in the hotel, but that was over 10,000 people there. It was overwhelming. The city of Atlanta is overwhelming. So on the bus, I met so many people that were just friendly and in the same space that I was in. And they were willing to share information and ideas on what do you do for closing gifts. I learned a lot from that. I did not expect to gain a lot from individuals. I expected to gain it from maybe the exhibit hall or from the sessions, but I gained a lot from one-on-one interaction with people going back and forth. And those buses were running like every 10 minutes, and there were so many people. I felt like I was being herded, going up and down escalators and everything. It was quite an experience, and I thought the other company that I was with, I thought it was large, but KW is very large. Don't underestimate. I think I underestimated how huge this company is and how influential it is, not just in America, but internationally. So it was very impressive, and there's so much to learn. And I want to just say that the main thing is never stop learning, because there is such a need to gain more knowledge. And in talking with people, I just felt a hunger to know more. How do I get to the next level? Because even people that are top producers, they're still trying to move up and do a little bit better. So we can always learn. And as I've heard from the other panelists, don't be so vain and worried about how you look or how you sound, because we're all just people at the end of the day, and we're all just seeking the answer. So everybody have their weaknesses and their insecurities, but you got to don't overthink things, and just do the best you can and try to help people. And when I help people, I feel rewarded. I feel rewarded to get a paycheck, but I also feel rewarded to see a smile on somebody's face.
I love that. The first time I went to family reunion, it blew my mind. In the same way, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that there were people on this level. And yeah, you meet them on a bus and they're willing to share all their secrets. So it's pretty amazing culture. So if you have not been to family reunion, you should definitely go, because it is overwhelming and it's an experience. But my first family reunion, I learned something that changed my whole business from somebody I was sitting next to in a session. Literally, it was my one takeaway, and I didn't learn it from a panelist. So the next question, yeah, because you've already answered this one, right? If you had to summarize family reunion in one sentence for someone who didn't go, what would you say they need to understand most?
I guess real estate equals wealth. Yeah.
Okay. And what is one commitment that you're making coming back from family
I'm
reunion?
going to complete the wealth certification.
Okay, by when?
Huh?
By when?
3 months. I think that's a good enough time, right?
Yeah, that's
I don't
great.
know how long it takes, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. What about you, Sue? What's one thing you want? How can you summarize family reunion for everybody who couldn't go?
Quit thinking so much and just do it. Get started, whether it's social media, gaining better systems, just get started. We all like to sit and plan and plan and plan. But I think the biggest thing is that if you're not planning with AI, you're behind. So start talking to your AI.
I love it.
Everyone's looking at me like, I don't know. How many people in here are talking to AI now? Oh, we got good. So keep talking. Let it get to know you. Let it figure out who you are and what your message is so that it can help you scale your business quicker.
I love that. Okay, what's one commitment you're making coming back from family reunion?
Girl, I am posting. I am posting. You know, I'm going to be, you know what? I'm going to say 15 times a week I'm going to post.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I don't know. You know what? I am going to make that 15 times a week.
All right, we're gonna be watching.
Oh, Sudai.com, Sudai Realtor. Just type my name in, you'll find me. Oh, that's a really good question because the one thing that I really learned is that you got to be on YouTube. And right now I'm doing like Facebook and Instagram, but you need to do, what is it, the story on YouTube?
Shorts, YouTube shorts.
Okay. You need to do the video on YouTube and then you pop it in AI and they cut it up into like 5 posts that you can post on the other platforms. But the biggest thing is everything you do needs to be on YouTube because that to me, that from what I've learned, it kind of drives. It's the driver. It's the one I didn't think was the driver. I was thinking, oh, we got to be on Instagram. We got to be on the TikTok. I've been on TikTok, 30 days. I don't know. But YouTube, do some long content, cut out the ahs. If you don't know CapCut, you got to know CapCut. So who knows CapCut in here? So we got some work on that. But I mean, honey, that can make everything look good. Ignore. Her name is Kaylee Havar. She's out of Arkansas. And she is, she puts it down to like a 5th, 3rd grade level. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm old. And I did not grow up. I mean, I was around when party lines were still there on regular telephones. And so, does anybody know what a party line is?
No.
Yeah, you picked it up and someone was already on the phone. You had to hang up and wait till the other 5 houses got off the phone. But it's real. It really happened. If you don't believe it's true, look it up. But anyway, I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry. YouTube.
Oh, YouTube will cut everything up and CapCut makes it all look good. And I don't know where I was going with all that.
Yeah. Well, I think Gary Vee said that YouTube Shorts is where AI is pulling a lot of information from.
And
because he
you
said
have to be intentional on how you post. You have to say where you're at.
Keywords, yeah.
Keywords. You really need to look at keywords. Before we were all into SEO, and now it's all GEO.
Mm-hmm. Was it Gary that said ChatGPT is the biggest thing now? He said, but Google obviously pivoted quickly
Gemini.
and put it at the top, right? Put AI at the top. And he was like, they're going to make Gemini is going to be 40 to 50% of where everything goes because Google is going to drive everything there. And obviously they own YouTube. So that's where they're going to pull their info from. So that is a big aha.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn.
That's great.
Oh, and Stack. What do you say? Substack.
Yeah.
Leslie's still young. She's older than me, but I'm older than her at heart. I'm older than her at heart because I was like, what the heck is that? She's like, you've never heard? So Substack is written form. It's written form, social media. And apparently AI is going to start like reading that too. And it's a new platform. So they're driving more things to that. Sarah, yeah. Simplify. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, there's apps that can post on all of them for you. Yes. So for those on Zoom, Sarah said to first hire a coach, get on YouTube Shorts, and then use an app to syndicate it to all the other platforms so you're not feeling like you have to post to everything all it like yourself. There's things that can do it for you. And we will get if we brought Sue's coach in to give us a class, would y'all come back? Okay, cool. Would you invite a friend so we can fill the room? Because we're gonna have to bring her here, like so from Little Rock. Go ahead.
But with all the social media stuff, there's back what Sarah said, it's something greater. One of the
Influencers?
exhibitors.
Mhm.
It's something greater. Anyway, I'll find out what it is. But you go in there, you post your media, and it goes to 7 platforms at one time. It's $160, I think, a month. And, that's how I'm going to post 15 a day. I'm going to post, not a day, a week.
A week.
A week. A week. I got to, somebody film me now so I can post it. No, for real. But there, like Sarah said, there are things to help us because this is not for us to get busy not doing real estate. And that was my biggest hurdle. How do I do all this and keep doing real estate? How do I do that? Because I'm busy. I'm already busy. And I have grandchildren and I need to make time for them too. And so, but one thing that I went to family reunion for the first time, I went to Mega Camp for the first time this year. And the one thing that helped me was going around to all those vendors and showing me the technology that's out there that I can utilize that doesn't break the bank. Because I am cheap. So I don't, Sarah's been griping at me forever to buy a coach, and now I have 2. What
Buy a
in the
coach.
world? But my social media coach, she doesn't break the bank. You schedule an hour with her, she charges $100 an hour. It sounds like a lot, but she's really generous with her
An
time.
hour of social would probably overwhelm us all. So,
Well, But I mean, by the time you leave that hour, you have something postable. I mean, guys, I'm at 1.6 million on one of my posts she helped me do.
she's a social media star.
Linda. I mean, who knew that would ever happen?
It was amazing.
And so, I mean, she's training me how to get the amount of engagement that I need. And then the other thing that Greater thing does is everything you need to comment back to, because that's what helps the algorithm too. It's all right there. So if someone says something on LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube, it all goes into one place and I can just answer those. And instead of going to each platform and saying, okay, what did people say, and scrolling and finding out, I can just do 3 or 4 on every platform, and then that algorithm just keeps going. It's all a game.
That was awesome. Chauncey, the question again? You got it.
Well, I gained a lot. I gained a lot from just participating on this panel. It's been good. What I take away a lot is don't be lazy, and just be consistent in what you're doing. To me, this is a job that you're working constantly, even Saturday and Sunday. Even if you're not with clients, you need to be planning or have a game plan at all times of what you're going to do next. And set goals and hold yourself accountable, or get an accountability partner to ask you questions. Are you doing what you said you're going to do? Because when you work for yourself, you can get lazy and you can say you're going to do it, and things happen. I got grandkids as well, and a wife, and people demanding in my life. So it can take away. So you got to be focused on real estate to make it work for you. And what works for maybe Sue may not necessarily work for me. I have to find what comes natural for me to do, and we all have to do that. You have to search yourself. I heard saying about having a niche. You have to find what you're good at and what you're passionate about. Passion drives us. You got to love it. If you don't love it, you need to find something else.
I love that. Okay, what's one thing we can hold you accountable to? What are you taking away from family reunion?
Be consistent.
Okay. What does consistency look like?
Consistency means that
For you.
stay focused and I stay on target. I know what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm working toward that constantly.
Okay.
Oh, there's one more thing I have to tell you.
Yes, ma'am. I love when Sue's on a panel.
Okay. We oftentimes do not wake up with a mission. We wake up of things we think we're going to do or with things that we want to do. But every day before you quit working, write down 2 lists. Write down the have to list and the need to list. Nothing gets done until the have to list is done to stay accountable with what you're doing. And that's been something in my life that I'm like, oh, I could be doing this or I could do this. And there's lots of things I could do. But when you wake up and you have no decision to make because it's already been made for you the night before and you already know today I'm accomplishing these 3 things. Once they're done, this is where my focus needs to go. And I think it'll help us all stay on track. What do y'all think?
That's a great idea, Sue. Thank you guys so much for being on the panel. We got so much out of this. And I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming to Atlanta with us. I think, honestly, being in that room, like Chauncey said, with all of those people who are willing to just tell you all their secrets, is really what Keller Williams is all about. And it really just like sets us apart from any other company. So I appreciate you guys coming. Thank you so much. Y'all don't forget to go to Meredith's Broker Open after this. They're doing like a food tour. So it ends at 1 that's in Germantown. Yes. So hers is the 9140. But they're having a whole little neighborhood tour. So please go there, eat some lunch, go check it out and give them some feedback and maybe bring them a buyer. Create some content for your social media. So thank you guys so much for coming. See you guys soon. And we'll let you know when Sue's coach is going to come.